Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And Nate Parker's Birth of a Nation will be in theaters this October, and whether the movie is any good or not probably won't matter. The film is going to be a shoe-in for Oscar consideration, given the fact that the Oscars caught so much heat over the Oscars is so white situation. I believe it was last year that Hollywood needs some black movies. So some black movies to nominate. So whether the movie is any good or not, it is probably guaranteed the token slot for black movies. So Hollywood can say, hey, look, we nominate black movies. Here's Birth of a Nation. It's Nate Parker. It's black. So we're not racist in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know, man. I think after all that Oscars is so white thing, and what's going to happen now with whether a movie is any good or not, just because somebody black does it, it is going to get nominated. The whole process to me is tainted now, and you don't know who's getting what, who deserves what. But the Oscar controversy. Why am I having such a hard time saying controversy? The Oscar controversy pales in comparison to some old skeletons that have now fallen out of Nate Parker's closet. Back in 1999, when Nate Parker was 19 years old and in college, he and a fellow classmate or college buddy were accused of raping a woman while she was drunk. According to stories, Mr. Parker and this woman went back to, I guess, either his room or her room. She was drunk, slurring words at the time, and these two started having sex. His friend shows up with another individual, and they're watching Parker and the girl have sex in the room. Parker motions for them to come into the room, and one of the people back out. But his other friend, Mr. Jean Micgiani Celestin, goes into the room where reports said the three engaged in a threesome act. The girl, who says she was drunk and did not remember anything, filed or pressed rape charges against Mr. Parker and Mr. Celestin. Mr. Parker was acquitted of the charges, partly because he and the woman had, according to articles, oral sex prior to this sexual encounter. I don't know, it just begs the question, if you have sex with a female, you have sex with the same female, but she's drunk, is that not rape? So, now me personally, I think if you have sex with someone and they're drunk and they're not really coherent about what they're doing, I think that's rape. But apparently, if you have sex with the person prior, a sexual history, I'll say, and then the sex is unconsensual later on, that somehow cannot be construed as rape. Mr. Parker was let off, but his friend was convicted of rape. His conviction was overturned, according to, I guess, lawyers or new lawyers that said the old lawyer basically did a crappy job in representing him. Mr. Parker has come out and addressed this in, a series of tweets. Who doesn't go to Twitter to hash things out now, saying that, it was an unfortunate situation. He was, irresponsible at the time, like a lot of guys, the small head, overrides the brain and the bigger head when it comes to women and sex. He was not aware that this woman had committed suicide a while back. Her family claims that after this incident that, she was just never the same. She never really, I guess, mentally recovered from the assault. And as a result, I guess the mental strain and the embarrassment or the shame or however it is you want to say it, eventually led to her committing suicide. On the other hand, are we to believe every story that a woman puts out about rape, in particular when she's drinking, when she gets drunk, And I've been in situations, I'm sure a lot of guys have been in situations where you've encountered a female at a party or something, and she's been drinking and she's drunk. That alcohol, it usually makes you do one of maybe three things. You either get drunk and you get violent, you get drunk and you get sleepy and you go to sleep, you pass out, or you get drunk and you get promiscuous. And men tend to get drunk and pass out, or they tend to get drunk and they get violent. Women tend to get drunk and they get promiscuous. So does the alcohol open up those barriers and allow you to do things you would never do when you were sober? If that's the case, you get drunk and you decide, well, that guy, I want to have sex with that guy for a long time. And you go and you have sex with that guy. You have sex with two guys the same night at the same time. And then you wake up the next day and somebody says, oh man, you had sex with two guys. You went back to a place and had sex with two guys. You are embarrassed because now everybody knows basically, or what they're calling you as a hoe. You slept around with two guys after you got drunk. So what do? You claim that the guys took advantage of you, and if they took advantage of you, then that means that they raped you. Or do you accept responsibility for what you did and just say, hey, look, hey, let a hoe be a hoe. I got drunk. I had a good time. And that is that. Well, Mr. Parker is hoping that, that was the case in regards to this young lady. Now, he had actually contacted her, according to reports, and let her know, hey, listen, what you did, hey, that night before, you was with it, I was with it, the other guy was with it. Don't know. That's a tough one to call. I personally, and I don't know, I can't even say I think it's rape or not. If I just describe that scenario, is that rape when a woman is promiscuous and her promiscuity leads to a sexual encounter, and you crime rape as a result? And now, some 15 years later, throughout Mr. Parker's entire career, this story did not surface. So when he was doing his acting, the great debaters, no rape charges came up. Red Tails, no rape charges came up. What was the last movie I knew he was in? He was the police officer. I think it was Bright Lights or something like that, where he rescued the singer. But no rape charges came up during that. Now all of a sudden we've got Birth of a Nation, and these rape charges have now resurfaced. So, but Fox, the company that bought the movie from Mr. Parker, which is really ironic, this is conservative news Fox, Rupert Murdoch Fox, that claims that Egyptians weren't black, but he buys a movie about a black slave revolt. I don't know, go figure. But none of that stuff came up during any other part of his career. Now all of a sudden this thing comes up about the rape charges. Don't know where to place this one, man. It has, I have to be honest, it has changed my view on Birth of a Nation. I was excited about going to see the movie when I first heard about it, but am I supporting a rapist? It doesn't matter if you're a family man now. This guy has 5 daughters. He's happily married. He's a successful businessman. But does any of that matter if you are a low-down scumbag rapist? Does it matter? Or can you make that mistake, that type of a mistake, when you're very young, and not live to regret it as you get older? So it does, man. It's the same thing with Woody Allen. It's the same thing with Roman Polanski. Woody Allen and his wife adopt a baby, and he winds up sleeping with the baby that they raised. Does that change your opinion, or change my opinion as of Woody Allen as a filmmaker, as brilliant a filmmaker as he is? You can't help but look at him as like a child molester, more or less. Roman Polanski, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, caught a rape case behind a young girl, fled the country, and he's been over in Europe ever since. They won't extradite him. If he ever comes back to the U.S., he will be tried or convicted, or arrested, tried and convicted for rape. Doesn't matter if he did Chinatown. Doesn't matter if he did, I believe it was Rosemary's Baby. That you don't look at that guy the same way. Does Mr. Parker fall under that category? As much as you try to distance yourself from these charges, as brilliant of a film as Birth of a Nation might be, as many Oscars as it might win, does that change the fact that you are a low-down scumbag rapist who took advantage of a girl back in your college days, man? So it's pretty tricky for me. I don't know. That past, you always watch what you do in your past, because it may very well, just like in the case of this movie, come back and hang you one day. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.